First of all, I want to thank all of the members of the House who have contributed to the debate, and in particular I want to express my appreciation for the work that my colleague Deputy Mary Upton has done, not only in presenting this motion to the House, but in presenting and publishing an outstanding policy document for the Labour Party in the important area of tourism. This motion is about jobs, and may I express my disappointment that my constituency colleague, Minister for Tourism, Minister Hanafin, has not accepted the motion that we have put forward here this evening, because I would have felt that the motion from the Labour Party would have been of assistance to her in fighting her corner for the tourism industry and the importance of it, particularly at this time of the year. The motion, as I said, is about jobs. It's about jobs and about getting people back to work, because unlike the government, the Labour Party do not believe that you can cut your way out of a recession, and you certainly can't sink 22 billion into a zombie bank like Anglo-Irish and expect that to steer you out of recession. The Labour Party has been consistent from the beginning. The only way we are going to get out of this recession is if we work our way out of it. And what is more, the Irish people want to work their way out of it. Through their recklessness and their privileging of vested interests before the national interest, the Fianna Fáil government has precipitated our economic disaster. We were the first into recession, and we're going to be the last out of it. And it will be deeper and our debts bigger because of the mistakes that they have made and because of their mismanagement. But this economic disaster is also a human disaster. The hundreds of thousands of families and individuals affected by unemployment during this recession will be scarred perhaps for years to come. We now have 439,000 people on the live register, unemployed or underemployed. And the most recent quarterly National Household Survey shows that 41% of all people unemployed have been out of work for over a year. 1 in every 3 young men in the labour force is out of work. Over 1,400 businesses went to the wall last year. The Labour Party first began talking about job creation through investment in a school building programme, the retraining for construction workers in summer of 2008, before the banking collapse. And since then, we have proposed a series of practical measures to create jobs in our economy and to head off the emergence of long-term unemployment through training, work placement and work-sharing schemes. They include, but are not limited to, a €1.15 billion jobs fund with 3 pillars: funding for infrastructure projects that are ready to go, like school renovation, urban regeneration and flood relief, that will create jobs and useful, lasting resources. 60,000 new education and training places that reflect our future skills needs, including 30,000 graduate and apprentice work placements. And investment for sectoral job strategies in green energy, tourism, agri-food, creative industries and other areas where we already have a competitive advantage. We've also proposed a PRSI holiday for employers who create new jobs, which is filled by a person who have been on the live register for 6 months or more. We proposed that in April 2009. Last week, the government announced, with much fanfare, that they were finally adopting the same idea. We've proposed a new law to ban upward-only rent reviews for new and existing commercial leases to save jobs and viable businesses in the retail sector, and the government voted down that legislation. We've proposed a state investment bank that would provide investment capital for new start-ups and to expand existing homegrown industries. All of these ideas have been costed. We know that they're affordable. We know for certain that we cannot afford to do nothing. Every person who's on the dole for a year costs the Exchequer €20,000 in welfare benefits and lost taxes. That money would be better invested in getting the person back into sustainable employment. The Labour Party's latest policy blueprint for the tourist industry, which was published by Deputy Upton, contains 29 practical suggestions for sustaining and growing one of our most important sectors. 15 of those ideas are in this motion tonight. They include the abolition or reduction of the travel tax, a tax which arguably costs more in lost tourism revenue than it raises, protection of the tourism marketing budget as a key instrument in developing new tourism markets, for example in Asia, and a strategy to deal with the phenomenon of zombie hotels that had been encouraged as a tax avoidance mechanism by the Fianna Fáil government. As has been highlighted by my colleague Deputy Upton, the tourism sector in Ireland is a major employer. In 2009, the tourism industry employed almost 120,000 people and contributed €1.2 billion in tax revenues. It is a truly national industry, employing people in every corner of the country across a range of age and skill levels. What is more, we know that we have a good tourism product. Despite the fall in tourism numbers in recent years, tourism has been a domestic success story, underpinned by small businesses and entrepreneurs. What is often missed in high-flown lip service that is paid to the smart economy is that a smarter economy has to reach from the grassroots up, as well as from cloud computing down. The Labour Party's policy blueprint highlights a number of ways we can improve the delivery and marketing of our tourism product through mobile applications, better integration of services on the web, specific web portals for popular activities in Ireland, such as surfing or golf, and better penetration of broadband so that rural businesses can take full advantage of the internet. We welcome the government's statements on the smart economy and green technology, but so far, statements are all we have got. While this government is talking up what it will do, it is ignoring the economic winners we have on our own doorstep. That is why the Labour Party has been advocating sectoral job strategies, which look at how we can expand existing successful industries like tourism and food and culture. Yes, Ireland has huge potential in emerging industries such as clean tech, and Labour has put forward our own strategy in our 2009 policy document, The Energy Revolution. However, it will take time to grow these new high-tech sectors, parts of which are still in their infancy. In contrast, we can create the condition to grow established nationwide industries relatively quickly. Tourism, for example, does not require further expensive infrastructure or lengthy lead-in times. It takes advantage of skills which our labour force already does well, such as customer service, food production and IT, to name but a few. And if we do it right, it is a sustainable source of jobs, both environmentally and in its longevity. If we steward our tourism industry well, it will prove to be an immensely valuable renewable resource. There is no one in this House who thinks that repairing our economy will be easy, but it will be impossible if we do not staunch the loss of jobs from across our economy and if we do not take urgent measures to prevent mass long-term unemployment. That is the critical purpose of this motion, and I would ask every deputy in the government benches to consider carefully their response to the Labour Party's positive, job-focused proposals on the tourism industry.